Hey guys, today we are going to create a responsive image gallery using HTML5 and Bootstrap. Now I have opened up the gallery page in my phone so that you can see how the page looks on small screen devices. The navigation bar has collapsed into a button, you can see. We can click on the button and all the navigation links are visible. Click on it again and the links go away. We have a little bit of animation. You can see the text are sliding from left and right. Let's see the rest of the page. We have these images. Click on any one of them and it opens up a slideshow. You can click on next and previous and close the slideshow. Let's drop down and see the footer. This is the footer section with some links in it, and there is a small button. If you click on that, it navigates to the top of the page. This is the entire website. Now let's see in the landscape mode. You can see the animation of the text. We have that navigation button. Click on it and you can see the navigation links. Click on it again and the links are hidden. These are the images. You can put your own images. Click on it and the slideshow opens up. You can go next or previous. There is a small close button on the top right corner, you can see. Just click on that button and the slideshow closes. Now since this is a small screen device, the images are appearing in just one column. In bigger devices, in bigger screen devices, we have many columns of images. Okay, now I am running the website on desktop. You can see how the links are appearing on the top, and when we hover over any of the link, the background changes to white, and the gallery link has the white background because it is the active link right now. And you can see the animation in the text. Then coming down, we have 4 columns of images. In the mobile phone we had only 1 column of image. In desktop we have 4 columns. All the images are there. When we hover over any of the image, you can see we have a slight grayish background. Then we have this footer down below. Then this is the button. Click on the button, it takes to the top of the page. Now let's open the slideshow and see. And you can also notice that the navigation bar is fixed on the top and it is not hiding when we are scrolling down. It is staying on top. Now let's open any image. Now you can see we have the image, and below the image we have the title of the image. You can click next to move to the next image. On the bottom below the title of the image, we have these demo images. You can see these images are like an easy way of moving among the images without the need to close the slideshow. You can just click any of the image you like and that image will be opened up. So it's a nice thing to have. And then there is a button, close button on the top right corner for closing the slideshow. So this is pretty much the gallery page that we are going to create. If you want to see the responsiveness of the page, you can change the screen size and see. Let me just decrease the screen size, and you can see the 4 columns have changed into 3 columns. And decrease more, you have now less columns, now 2 columns. Decrease more, and you have now just 1 column of image. So the arrangement of the image is dependent upon the size of the screen. Everything is there. Now let's increase the screen size, and the layout changes. So this is the complete gallery page that we are going to create. Now to get you started, I have prepared some starter files, and you can just go ahead and download those starter files from the description down below and then open it. The first folder is the CSS folder. It contains the CSS files that we are going to need for animation as well as for style. Then the second folder is the img, that is the image folder. It contains all the images that we are going to need. Then we have this JS folder for the JavaScript files. This wow plugin we are using for animation. And then we have this gallery.html. Right now it is empty. Now let's open this in a text editor. I'm using Sublime Text. You can choose any other text editor of your choice. I'm using Sublime Text. Okay, this is the file right now. These are the JavaScripts. You can just minimize them right now. We don't need to get into the details of the JavaScript. Now if you want to see which theme I'm using in Sublime Text, this is the default.sublime-theme. And if you want to see the color scheme that I'm using, then let me show color scheme. Yeah, this is the Mariana one, the second from top. Okay, let's now start with the coding. First line states that it is an HTML document. Second line states that the language of this HTML document is English. Then we have this title tag. You can choose to write your own title. Then we have the link to the icon that we are going to use in the page. And I've written comments above every line so that you can understand what those are for. And we have the links for the font awesome icons. These are the links. This is the link for the jQuery. Then the link for the Bootstrap. Then there's the link for JavaScript, Bootstrap JavaScript. Okay, then we are using this animate.css for animation, and then wow JavaScript. These two I'm using for animation. You can choose to use any other, that depends upon you, but I'm using them. And all the CSS part we are going to write in between those style tags. Now if you want to see the JavaScript that we are using for the model, that is for the slideshow. If you are not familiar with JavaScript, you do not have to worry about anything. Everything is pretty much complete here. We do not have to write anything or do anything with it. We just have to write the HTML codes and the CSS part, and we are done. Okay, now let's start with the body tag. Okay, let's give ID my page, then space, then data target equals to dot navbar. Okay, this attribute is actually used for scroll spy, in which if you click on a link in the navigation bar, it takes you to the respective section in the body to which it is connected. We are not using scroll spy in our example, but I am adding this so you can use it later if you want. So both of those attributes, the data hyphen target and data hyphen offset, are for scroll spy, and we need to add one more attribute, that is data hyphen spy, if you want to use scroll spy, but we are not using it, so just leave it there. If you want to use scroll spy, just add one more attribute, data hyphen spy is equals to scroll, and drop down and write a comment, navigation bar begins, then drop down and create a navbar and give it class of navbar, space navbar default, space navbar hyphen fixed hyphen top. We are using this class navbar hyphen fixed hyphen top because we want the navigation bar to be on top always. We do not want it to get hidden while we scroll down the page. Then drop down and create a div tag and give it a class of container. Then drop down and create another div tag, and let's give it a class of navbar hyphen header. Then drop down and let's write a comment, button with 3 lines, that replaces the navigation links. Then drop down and create a button tag, and give it a class of navbar hyphen toggle, space type, type is button, then data hyphen toggle, collapse, then data hyphen target hash my navbar. This data hyphen target links this button with the links of the my navbar, that is the links of the navigation bar, so that when we click on the button, all the links of the navigation bar are displayed. Then drop down and create a span tag and give it a class of icon hyphen bar. This creates a line in the button. Create another span tag with class icon hyphen bar. This creates the second line in the button. Then drop down and create the third line span tag with class icon hyphen bar. Then let's save this and drop down and create a new comment, logo on the top left corner. Now we are going to define the logo for the page. Now write a tag with class navbar hyphen brand. This navbar hyphen brand class is used for the icon that is put in the top left corner of the page. Then write h reference as hash my page. Now you can see this hash my page matches the ID of the body, so that when we click on the icon it takes to the top of the page. Then let's create an image tag with source as img /bw logo t3 .png. Then close a tag. Okay, then the next thing that we need to do is create all the links for the navigation bar. Now we have to declare all the links. Let me just close all the tags. Let's save the page and see. Refresh the page. Okay, now we have the logo, but it is quite big right now. We will style it later using CSS. We have the navigation bar. We will change the color of it later. Now let's get back to the text editor. Now let's declare all the links for the navigation bar. Just before the closing of the last div tag, create a comment, links for the navigation bar. Then drop down, create a div tag, and let's give it a class of collapse space navbar hyphen collapse, and ID as my navbar. Now this ID my navbar you can see matches with the data target of the button, so that when we click on the button, all the links that we are just going to declare will be shown when we click on the button. Now let's create an unordered list, that is a UL tag, and let's give it a class nav space navbar hyphen nav space navbar hyphen right, because we want to give the links a right alignment. If you want, you can give them left alignment or the center, but we are giving it right alignment. Now drop down and create a li tag, and create a tag, and since all other pages are not ready, we are just going to refer them to a hash sign, and let's write all the name of the links. You can choose to write any other name of the links. I'm just writing randomly about, then services, then gallery, then let's make this as the active. Write class and then active. because we want this link to be as the active link. Then drop down and create a new li tag and declare all the other links. This one is pricing, the next one is our team, then let's say this will be our customers, then last one is contact. Then close the unordered list, that is close the UL tag. You can save the file and you can check if all the tags are properly closed. Yeah, all the tags are closed. Save the file. Now let's see in the browser. Refresh the page. And now we have all the links here and the gallery is appearing to be active. Okay, now let's get back to the editor. So this completes our navigation part. If you want to use scroll spy, you can just add a attribute data-spy is equals to scroll, and then in the links that we just have declared, you can, instead of writing as just a hash sign, you can write hash and then followed by the ID of the section that you want the link to be connected to. For example, if suppose there is a section with an ID, let's say X, and you want the link about to be connected to that section with ID X, so that when we click on about, it scrolls down to the section where X is declared. What you can do is you can write X just next to the hash sign and they both will be connected. Then drop down and write a comment as navigation bar ends. Then let's write more comments as Jumbotron begins. Then let's make this Jumbotron ends. Then declare a div tag with class Jumbotron. J is small letter. Okay, then text hyphen center, because we want the text to be aligned in the center. Then drop down and create an h1 tag. Then let's give it a class of, or let's just leave it right now here. We will add animation later. And write in gallery, write the text as gallery, and then drop down and create a p tag. And let me just open the original website and copy the text from there. This is just to save time. All you can do is write your own text or write anything that you like. I'm just using the same text. Okay, this completes the Jumbotron. Jumbotron is actually this big box which is just below the navigation bar. This is called Jumbotron. Now refresh the page and you can see the Jumbotron is below the navigation bar, but it is hidden by the navigation bar. We have to style the Jumbotron in a way that the position of the Jumbotron is below the navigation bar. We will do that later in the CSS part. Now let's just write a new comment. Thumbnail images for gallery begins. Now we are going to declare all the images which will be visible on the gallery page. Now copy the comment and paste it below and change it to ends. Now drop down and create a div tag with class as container hyphen fluid, container hyphen gallery. Then drop down and create a new div tag with class row, because we want to add a new row. And now let's divide the screen into different columns according to the screen size. Okay, now let me just quickly explain how I have divided the screen into various columns for the images in the gallery page. For the large screens, that is for LG, I have used call-lg-3 so that I have 4 thumbnail images on the screen in large screens. So I will have 1, 2, 3 and 4. I will have 4 images on the screen, or I can say I will have 4 columns of images on the screen, each having 3 column width. You can see each column will have a width of 3. And then in the medium sized devices, that is the desktops, which have the screen size of 992 pixels and up, I will use call-md-4 so that I have 3 columns on the screen, or I can say I will have 3 images on the screen in a row, and each column is of size 4 width or 4 span. Each column has a width of 4. Then in the small screens, that is the SM, with the screen size of 768 pixels and up, I'm using call-SM-6. This divides the screen into 2 equal halves, so that means it will have 2 images in one row on the screen, and both of these columns have a size of 6. Then on the extra small screens, which are the mobile phones with the screen size less than 768 pixels, I'm using call-xs-12. So this divides the screen into one column, just single one, or we can say in small devices it will display only one image in a row. Let's add a comment first. Images, because we are going to just declare all the images now. Now let's create a div tag with class call -lg-3, because we want 4 images to be displayed in large screen. Then space call -md-4, because we want 3 images to be shown in medium sized screens. Then space call -sm-6, because we want 2 images to be displayed on small screens. Then space call -xs-12, because we want only 1 image to be displayed on very small screens like mobile phones. And drop down and create a image tag. Give the source as img /, then taj-mahal space style as width 100%. Then write on click, write open model, then 2 brackets, semicolon, then current slide, or let's just remove this. Let's just delete current slide right now, because I want to show what is the purpose of the current slide. And give the class as hover-shadow space cursor. This hover-shadow is a class that we are going to declare in CSS, so that we can add shadow in the images when we hover over them. And that cursor class is going to change the mouse pointer. Then drop down and copy the entire block and then paste it below. Paste it few more times. I'm just going to fast forward this part so that we can save some time. You can pause the video and write the names. Now save the file and open the browser. Refresh the page, and now we have 5 images. Now we need to add more images in the same way. You can see that there are 4 images right now. There are 4 columns, and as we decrease the size of the screen, you can see there are 3 columns. Decrease the size more and we have 2 columns, and decrease more and we have just 1 column. Now we need to add all the other images. For that we just need to paste the block that we have copied earlier. I'm just going to fast forward through this part and write everything. It does not matter in which order I am adding the image. You can add the image in any order, or you can add just one image and copy it several times. It really does not matter if you have different images. We are just testing this page, so you can just have one image. Now let's save it and open in the browser. Yeah, we have all the images now. So thumbnail images ends there. Now we need to add the lightbox or the slideshow. Write a comment. Model begins. In bracket you can write lightbox and copy the comment and paste it below. Make it ends. Now let's drop down and create a div tag and give it a class my model, my small, then M capital, or let's say just model, and ID. As my, not hash, just my model. Drop down and write a comment. Close button. To close the slideshow. Now we are going to add that small cross button which is in the top right corner to close the slideshow. Now drop down and create a span tag and let's give it a class close space cursor, because we want the mouse pointer to change when we hover over the close button. Then on click as close model and brackets, open bracket, close bracket, then write the text as ampersand and times semicolon. This is the shortcut for that cross button. Then close the span tag and drop down and create a new div tag. Let's give it a class as model hyphen content, because we are now going to declare all the contents of the model. Now write a comment, images for model. Now we are going to declare all the images that are going to be in the slideshow. Now declare a div tag with class my slides. Then drop down, create a new div tag, give it a class number text. Then write the text as 1/16. This is actually the text that will be visible on the top left corner of the image in the slideshow, which will indicate the index of the image that we have opened. So this is the first image, so it will be visible as 1/16. Then drop down and create an image tag with source as img/taj-mahal.jpg. Then style as width colon 100%. Then copy this entire block, then paste it below. paste it again, then change the index from 1 to 2, then 3, then 4. Now we need to change the name of the image. Make sure that you follow the same order that you have followed earlier in naming the images. I have written Taj Mahal earlier first, then Yamuna Expressway, then Gateway of India, then Thar Desert. So I have followed the same order here also, and click on any image, and now you can see the slideshow image appears in the entire screen. Till we need to style it a lot, but it's working. And you can observe that on whichever image you click, always the first image is opening up, irrespective of the image you click on. The slideshow is beginning with the first image, but we want the image on which we are clicking to be shown in the slideshow. Now this is because we have not written that current slide in the onClick attribute. Now let's just quickly add that. Write semicolon, then current slide, open bracket, close bracket, and write 1 because that is the first image. Then copy it and paste it below, and then write 2, paste it below, write 3. Keep doing this. I'm just going to save this and see in the browser. Now I click on the second image, and the second image is opened in the slideshow. Now you click on the third image, and that third image is opening in the slideshow. So I'm just going to fast forward this part. You can copy that in all the attributes, on click attributes, and write the index as in the increasing order from 1 to 16. Okay, now drop down and copy these 4 blocks which have declared 4 images in the model and paste them. Then make the necessary correction, change the index number, and change the images. Make sure to follow the same order of the images that you have followed earlier. I'm going to follow the same order. Now I'm just going to fast forward this part also. You can pause the video at any point and write them down, or you can follow your own order of images. It does not matter. Just make sure to follow the same order in both the places. Now it's done. Let's just save this and open the browser, refresh, and we have all the images, and you can click any one of them and it opens up in the slideshow perfectly. Now let's declare those next and previous buttons in the slideshow so that we can move across the images in the slideshow. Begin with writing a comment, next and previous buttons in the slideshow. Drop down and create a tag. Let's give it a class priv. Then on click as plus sites, open bracket, then -1. Then write text as ampersand hash symbol, then 10094, then close a tag, because we want whenever we click on this previous button we want the slideshow to display the previous image. Then drop down and create a new a tag, give it a class next, and on click as plus slides, bracket open 1 bracket close, then ampersand hash symbol, then 10095. These are actually the codes for those arrow symbol. Now let's drop down and write a new comment declaring the caption for the image. Now we are going to declare the caption for those images in the slideshow. Drop down and create a new div tag with class caption hyphen container, then create a p tag with id as caption. Now we have to give this id as caption because in the JavaScript we are using this id to extract the text in the alt attribute of the image that is currently in the slideshow, and whatever text is in the alt attribute becomes the caption for that image. If you know JavaScript you can understand this, how we are extracting the text from the alt attribute. If you don't know JavaScript, it doesn't matter, just leave it as it is. Now create a new comment and write small images for demo, or write just small images below slide for quick jumps. Then drop down and create a div tag with class call hyphen sm hyphen 1, then space call hyphen access hyphen 6, because we want 12 small images in the demo section in the small screens and 2 images in the demo section in very small screens, that is the mobile phones. Then drop down and create an image tag with source img /taj -mahal .jpg, then style as width 100%, then on click current slide and the index as 1. Then alt, then write the name of the image Taj Mahal, comma Agra. Now this text that we are writing in the alt attribute will be extracted by the JavaScript and then displayed as the caption for this image. And let's give it a class demo space cursor. Now let's save this and see in the browser. Refresh the page, click on the no, not this one. Actually we need to style the demo class so that they are visible. Right now they are not visible because of the problem in positions. I think it is hidden behind the slideshow. Now let me just copy this and paste it few times, then copy the entire block and paste it, and we need to just make the necessary changes, that is change the index from 1 to 16 in the increasing order, and then change the name of the images in the same order in which we have done earlier. I'm just going to fast forward this part also. You can pause the video to write down, or if you are following your own order, you just need to follow the same order here. There's nothing special to do. I'm just writing the images in the same order, and then writing the title of the image in the alt attribute. Just make sure you do this and you follow the same order that you have followed earlier. Okay, we are done now. Let me just save this, open the browser, refresh. Okay, now click on any image, but the demo is still not visible. We need to format the positioning before we can see the demo images. So just leave this right now and move. Now let's see what else we need to do in the original website. Okay, we need to add the footer below the images. Now write a comment, footer begins, then copy the comment and paste it below and write footer ends. Now let's create a footer tag and give it a class container -fluid, because we want this footer tag to take the width of the screen. Then drop down and create a div tag, and let's give it a class as a row. This will create a new row. Then drop down and create a div tag with class as call -sm-4. So we have divided the footer into 3 columns. Then drop down, create a h3 tag and give it a class as text-white, because we want this text to be in white color, because our footer will be in that blue color, so text should be in white color. Then write the text as about. Then drop down and create a p tag with class as text-white. Then write a tag and reference it to hash write the text as about us. Okay, then drop down and create a new p tag and write the class as text-white. Then create a tag hash reference hash, then write the text as privacy. Okay, then close the div tag and drop down and create a new div tag, and let's give it a class call -sm-8, then text center. Okay, the first column was of the width 1/3 of the screen. Now this second column will take the 2/3 width of the screen, because it has call -sm-8, which means it will take the 2/3 of the width of the screen. Then text-center will center align all the text. Then drop down and create a h3 tag with class text-white, because we want the text to be in white color. Then write the text as socialize. Then drop down and create a tag and h reference as hash. Then create a I tag, then space class as fa-Facebook. This is the class for font awesome icons. Then copy the entire line and paste it few times below. Let's change from Facebook to YouTube. Then let's make this Twitter. Then let's make this Instagram. Then make this one as LinkedIn or Pinterest. Let's add one more line and make this LinkedIn. Okay, now let's save this and see in the browser. Refresh the page, and yeah, we have the footer, but it still needs a lot of formatting, but it's ready. Make sure you have closed all the tags properly, and let's just before the closing of the footer, add a new div tag and give it a class as row space text-center, because we are adding a new row and we want the text to be in center. Then write a comment as button for moving to top. Then let's declare a button. H reference as hash my page, because this is the ID we gave to the body tag. Then title as to top. Then create a span tag and give it a class as glyph icon. We are using that arrow from glyph icon space glyph icon hyphen chevron hyphen up. Then close the span tag and close the e tag and drop down and create a new p tag. Then give it a class text-white, because we want the text to be in white color. Then write bootstrap theme made by, then create a tag, reference https www.facebook.com/tanz capital TALKS.tech tech. Then title, visit us at or visit us on Facebook. Then target as underscore blank. We write the target as underscore blank because we want the link to open in a new tab. Instead of opening in the same tab, we want the link to open in a new tab. Then write the text as tanzTalks.tech. You can write your own name, it does not matter. Save this and let's see in the browser. Yeah, we have everything now. Let me just add a space after by, refresh it. Yeah, it's fine now. And we have that button for scrolling to the top. You can click on the link and it will open up in a new tab instead of opening in the same. So this completes our HTML part, and now we have to do the styling using CSS. Now let's start with the CSS part, and let's start by styling the HTML tags. And since in CSS the HTML tags are just written as they are, we do not write a dot or a hash symbol before the name of the tags. So let's start by writing a comment. Style HTML tags. Then drop down and write body. Then open curly braces. Then write font. Then give it a font weight of 400. Then font size of 15 pixels. Then font style of Lato. Then comma sans hyphen serif. And drop down. And write line height as 1.8. Now line height defines the distance between two consecutive lines, or the space between two consecutive lines. Then drop down, and if you like you can use another font style. Then write font hyphen family and Verdana comma sans serif. You can use either Lato or Verdana, that totally depends upon you. Then margin as 0. Then drop down and write H1, open curly braces. Then font size as 5 em. Then exclamation mark and important. We write important if we want to override any other style. If there is any other style for H1 that is declared in the Bootstrap, then we can override them by writing exclamation mark and then important. Let's save this and see in the website. Fine. Now let's get back and write H4. Let's give it a font size of 19 pixels. Then let's give it a line height of 1.375 em. Then drop down and let's give it a color of hash 303030. Then the font hyphen weight as 400, and margin bottom as 30 pixels. Let's save this. Okay, now let's style the image tag, write img. Then let's give margin hyphen bottom as -4 pixels. Then img dot hover hyphen shadow. Now we are defining the shadow for the images when we hover over them. Let's write transition 0.3 seconds. Then let's style footer. Let's give it a height of 100% and background color of hash 0080ff. This is the hex code for the blue color. You can write a comment if you like. Save it and see in the browser. We have this blue colored footer now. Drop down and write footer space a colon hover, and let's give it a color of hash d3 d3 d3. This is the hex code for that off-white color, that gray color. Then text hyphen decoration as none, because we want to remove that underline when we hover over the links in the footer. You can write a comment here if you want. Let's save this and let's drop down and write a comment. Style navigation bar. Now we are going to style the navigation bar. That's the nav bar. Type dot nav bar, open curly braces, margin hyphen bottom as 0, then background hyphen color as hash 000 008 This is the hex code for the blue color that we have used in the footer. Then let's give z index 9999, then border as 0, then font hyphen size as 12 pixels. Let's say this is important. Then letter spacing 4 pixels, and let's say border hyphen radius 0, font hyphen family Montserrat, comma sans hyphen serif. Now let's save this and see in the browser. Refresh the page and navigation bar is now blue and font looks okay now, but we need to take care of the logo. The nav bar hyphen brand class, let's drop down and write .navbar space li space a comma then .navbar space .navbar hyphen brand, that li is for the list tag, and .navbar space li space a will style the links in the lists which are in the navigation bar. Let's write color as #FFF. This is the hex code for the white color. Then write exclamation mark important. If you want, you can write a comment. Let's save this and see in the browser. And now we have the font as in white color. Now drop down and write .navbar hyphen nav space li space a colon hover comma .navbar hyphen nav li dot active space a. Then let's give it a color of #0080FF, that the blue color. Then exclamation mark and write it as important. Then background color as #FFF, that is the code for the white color. Write this as exclamation mark important. Let's save this and see in the browser. Yeah, it's now getting better. You can hover over the links and it turns white. It's fine now. Now drop down and write .navbar hyphen default .navbar hyphen nav or let's just write .navbar hyphen toggle. Then give it a background color of white color, that is the #FFF. Then color as #FFF and write this as important. Save this. Now hover over the links and we can see them working nicely. Okay, now drop down and write .navbar hyphen or .navbar space a. Now let's style the links in the navbar. Let's give them a padding of 2 pixels, 5 pixels, 2 pixels, 15 pixels. 2 pixels is for the top, 5 pixels is for the right, then 2 pixels is for the bottom, and 15 pixels is for the left. Then drop down and write .navbar hyphen brand, then this greater than symbol, then img open braces. Then let's give it a height of 45 pixels and width as auto, because we want the width to be according to the height. Let's save this and see in the website. Yeah, logo is fine. Logo is smaller now. It's same as the original website now. Now let's drop down and write icon hyphen bar. We are now styling that button which replaces the links of the navigation bar. Yeah, that we used the class icon hyphen bar for the lines which are in the buttons. So now let's style that. Let's give it a different background color. It's grayish now. Let's make the background color as white. Okay, now drop down and write a comment, style Jumbotron, then write dot Jumbotron. Sorry, I missed the dot. Okay, now drop down and let's write background hyphen color as hash 0080ff, the blue color, then color as hash fff, then let's give a padding of 100 pixels, then 25 pixels, the 100 pixels top down and 25 pixels left right. You can write a comment here if you need help understanding how this padding works. 100 pixel top down and 25 pixels left right. Then let's give it a font hyphen family of Mon TS ERRAT Montserrat, then comma sans hyphen serif. Okay, let's save this and open the browser, refresh, and the Jumbotron and the navigation bar are now blue colored. I think we just need the animation in the Jumbotron. Everything is pretty much as same as the original website. Now let's drop down and write dot row, content as just inverted commas, and display as table, clear as both, and let me just write dot row colon after. It's fine. Now drop down and write a new comment, style model, and you can write in the bracket as background, then write dot model, then display as none, and position as fixed. Okay, then Z hyphen index or the Z index as 1. Let's give it a padding hyphen top as 100 pixels, then left give it 0, top 0, and width as 100%, and height as 100%. Let's write overflow and auto, then background hyphen color as hash 000, that is the hex code for black, because we want the background to be in black color in the slideshow. That overflow property specifies what happens if content overflows. This property specifies whether to clip content or to add scroll bars when an element's content is too big to fit in a specified area. So we leave that as auto and let the browser take care of it. Now save the file and let's see in the browser. Now you can see the demo images below the slideshow, and you can click any one of them and they are working as they should. Yeah, it's fine now. Now drop down and let's write a comment. Modal content, then write dot modal hyphen content, and let's give it a position as relative because we want the position to be relative to the navigation bar. We don't want the modal to be overwrapped by the navigation bar. Background color as hash FE and margin as auto, and padding as 0 overall, then width as 100% and maximum width as 1200 pixels. Now let's save this and see in the browser. Open any image. Yeah, everything is nice. If you like, you can remove the hex code instead of 000, and you can write the name of the color. Doesn't matter, it will remain the same. Now let's just drop down and write a comment. The close button. Now we are going to style the close button on the top right corner of the slideshow. Type dot close, then give it a color of hash FFF, that is the hex code for the white color. Then the position as relative because we don't want the close button to be overwrapped by any other element. Then top as 10 pixels, then right as 25 pixels. This top defines how much the button should be below the upper element. So writing 10 pixels mean the close button will be 10 pixels below the upper element. Then right define 25 pixels. This means the button will be at a distance of 25 pixels from extreme right. Then let's give a font size of 50 pixels. This defines the size of the button. Then font weight as bold. This makes the cross button more bold. Now let me show. Yeah, you can see in the slideshow we have everything working, and on the top left corner we have that index of the image. All the demo images are working, and on the top near the top right corner we have the close button. Click on it and the slideshow closes. Now let's move back to the editor and write dot close colon hover because we want the color of the button to change to white when we hover over it. Then comma dot close colon focus, then color as hash FFF, then text hyphen decoration as none, because we do not want that underline sign when we hover over the close button. Then cursor as pointer. Let's save this and open the browser, refresh, open any image, and let's yeah, you can see the color of the close button changes when we hover over it. Okay, now drop down and write a comment. We are now going to style the mouse pointer. If you remember, we have defined a class as cursor for this purpose. Now let's style that class dot cursor and write cursor as pointer. Now it's fine. Let me save this, and now let's open an image. You can see the mouse pointer has changed when we hover over the demo images. The demo images uses that class cursor, so the pointer changes when we hover over those demo images. Now let's write a comment, next and previous button. Now we are going to style the next and the previous button in the slideshow. Now write dot prev comma dot next and write cursor as pointer. Okay, then position as, let's say, absolute, because we want to give a absolute position and we do not want that position to change in different screen sizes. Then top as 50%, because we want the button to be at a distance of 50% from top always. Then width as auto and padding all around of let's say 16 pixels. Then margin hyphen top minus 50 pixels. Then color as hash FFF white color. Then font hyphen weight as bold. Okay, now font hyphen size, let's say 20 pixels. Then transition as 0.6 seconds. Ease and border hyphen radius as 0 and 3 pixels, 3 pixels, 0. Then user hyphen select as none. Then hyphen webkit hyphen user hyphen select as none. Then let's save this and see in the browser. Okay, open any image and you can see that the next and the previous buttons are now in the middle, but still both of the buttons are at the same place. Now we have to move the right button to the right side. Now let's write dot, or let's write a comment first. Position the right, or position the next button to the right, then write dot next. Let's give it a right as 0. Now this will make the button go to the right side, and border hyphen radius as 3 pixels, then 0 0, then 3 pixels. Then let's save this and see in the browser. Okay, click on any image, and now you can see we have the next and previous buttons in their respective places. If you want to know what this border hyphen radius property is, it actually adds rounded borders to a div element. If you write just one number, if you write just 2 pixels, then it will be all around. But since we are giving 4 values, if you talk about the next button, then the first 3 pixel is for the top left, and the second and third 0 0 are for the top right and then bottom right, and then the fourth 3 pixels applies to the bottom left corner, and it is the opposite for the previous button. There we have 0 in the top left, and then 3 pixels in the top right and bottom right, and then 0 in the fourth, which is the bottom left corner. Let's drop down and write a comment on hover, add a black background color with a little bit of transparency. Then type dot prev colon hover comma dot next colon hover. Then background hyphen color as RGBA. And if you want to know what that user hyphen select property is for, it actually prevents the text selection of a div element, which means if we have added this user select in the next and the previous button, that means we have prevented the text selection of those buttons. And writing that hyphen webkit hyphen user hyphen select means it is for Chrome browser and Opera browser and Safari browser. If you write just user hyphen select, it is the standard syntax. Now in background color we have used this RGBA colors. CSS actually supports color names or the hexadecimal or the RGB colors, and in addition to that CSS3 also supports RGBA colors, then HSL colors, HSLE colors. So we are using RGBA, and this RGBA color values are an extension of RGB color values with an alpha channel, and this alpha channel specifies the opacity for a color, so which means it works like an RGB with this alpha channel which specifies the opacity. And this alpha parameter is a number between 0, which is for fully transparent, and 1, which is for fully opaque. So let's write 0, 0, 0, 0.8 because we want it to be slightly opaque, not fully opaque. See in the browser we have the rounded corners in the right place. We have the light opacity with black color. Now let's drop down and write a comment as number text. Now we are going to style the numbers which are written on the top left corner of the image, which specifies the index of the image. Write dot number text, then color as hash 2 f2 f2, then drop down and font hyphen size. Let's give it a size of 12 pixels. Then padding 8 pixels top down and 12 pixels left right. Then position absolute, because we want the position of those index number to be absolute. We want the position to be there and not change. And let's give top as 0. Now you can see in the browser that the margin on the top is not visible and the index number is on the image. This looks nice. Now write dot caption hyphen container, then text hyphen align as center. We want the text to be in the center. Then background hyphen color, as hash 000, that is the black color. Then padding of 2 pixels top down and 16 pixels left right. Then color as hash FFF, the white color. So this will give the background of the slideshow black color, and the caption will be aligned in the center. You can see the caption is left right now, it will move to center. And we refresh the page. You can see the caption has moved to the center and that the background of that element has become black and the text color is white now. Now write dot demo and let's give it an opacity of 0.6. Then dot active comma dot demo colon hover. Let's give an opacity of 1. Let's save this and see in the browser. Right now the demo images are opaque. Let's refresh. And now these demo images are little transparent, and when we hover over them they become opaque. This looks nice. Okay, now drop down and let's write a comment. Shadow for all the thumbnail pics in gallery. Then dot hover hyphen shadow colon hover. Let's say box hyphen shadow as 0, then space 4 pixels, then space 8 pixels, then space 0, then RGBA 0, 0, 0, 0.8, sorry 0.2, then comma 0, 6 pixels, space 20 pixels, space 0, then RGBA and bracket 0, 0, 0, 0 point 1, 0.19. Let's save this. Now let's see in the browser shadow of the images. Yeah, we can see the shadow now. You can hover over any of the image and we have this shadow, slight gray shadow. Then let's write dot text hyphen white, and let's first give a comment. Comments increase the readability of the code, so it's always better to write comments wherever possible. Then write text, write white color for text in nav bar and footer. Then drop down and write color as hash FFF. Then drop down and write dot container hyphen fluid, and let's give a padding of 60 pixels top down and 20 pixels left right. Then drop down and dot container hyphen gallery. Let's give it a padding of, or let's say 40 pixels all around. And we have used this container hyphen gallery class for the images in the gallery page. Now let's refresh, and now we can see all the images are now padded with 40 pixels around them. Now let's add a comment. Arranging thumbnails. Then drop down and write dot call hyphen sm hyphen 4 comma dot call hyphen xs hyphen 12 comma dot call hyphen sm hyphen 3. Then write text hyphen align as center. Then margin as 0. Or let's write 15 pixels top down and 0 left right. As vertical hyphen align as middle. Let's save this and open the browser. Let me just refresh, and you can see the images are now padded properly, just like the original website. Now we just need to style the links in the footer. Okay, drop down and write comment, style font awesome icons. Then drop down and write .fa, that is the class for the font awesome icons. then font hyphen size as 20 pixels, then padding of 0, then 10 pixels, that is 0 top bottom and 10 pixels left right. Then save this and refresh. Icons are a little bit big right now. Now we are going to add those media queries for the responsiveness of the website, so that the layout of the website changes in small screen devices. Write at media space screen space and then open bracket, max width 768 pixels, then open curly braces, write dot call hyphen sm hyphen 4, open curly braces, text hyphen align as center and margin as margin as 25 pixels, then 0, 25 pixels top bottom and 0 left right. See in the website and check by decreasing the screen size. Here we have this white color above the image. In the slideshow, we need to get rid of that, and the close button is also not visible. Let's do that. Write dot close, give it a color of hash FFF, position as relative, then top as 2 pixels and right as 5 pixels. Then font hyphen size as 20 pixels. Now one thing I would like to tell, that if you are writing media queries, you do not need to write all the properties that you have defined earlier. You just need to write those properties that you want to change, but if you want, you can write them again here. It doesn't matter. I'm just showing you that you can do either of them, but it is better to write only those properties which you want to change. Now write dot navbar hyphen fixed hyphen top and position as relative, because we do not want the navbar to be fixed on the top always in small screen devices, because that will take up a lot of screen, and in the small screen we already have smaller size, so we do not want to waste the screen by displaying the navbar always on top. So let's write the comment and drop down and write dot Jumbotron. We also want to change the padding of Jumbotron. Let's write background hyphen color. If you want to write, you can write this. If you do not want to write the background color and color, you do not have to write this, because we have already written these properties earlier. and what we just need to write here is the padding, and write padding as 50 pixels top down and 12 pixels left right. Font hyphen family as Montserrat, comma sans hyphen serif. I am writing those properties again just for better viewability. There is no other reason. You can choose not to write all those properties again, it's totally fine. Then write dot demo display as none, because in the small screen size we do not want those demo images to be displayed below the slideshow, because anyway they will not be visible in small screens, so it is better to hide them. And let's decrease the size of the h1 tag. Let's give it a font size of 5 em. Save it. Now let's see in the browser. Now let me decrease the screen size and see how the page is behaving. Okay, let me decrease the screen size below 768 pixels. And you can see the demo images are not visible now. Now let's write one more media queries. Let's write the comment first. Media queries for responsiveness of website. Then write add media, screen space and space bracket, and max width for 80 pixels. Now we are going to write the media queries for a smaller device. Dot Jumbotron, then background color as hash 0080ff. Now again reminding you do not have to write all those properties again, because we have written them already earlier, so you do not need to write them. I'm just writing them. You can follow either of the method and they both are fine. Let me just quickly write a comment here. I'm just writing these properties again so that I can explain that these are not required. You can choose to skip them and write only those properties which are different from earlier. Okay, now let's write dot navbar hyphen fixed hyphen top and position as relative. Then drop down and write dot close. Then position as relative. Then drop down and top as 2 pixels. Then right as 5 pixels. Then font hyphen size as 20 pixels. Then font hyphen weight as bold. Let's drop down more and write h1. Drop down, write font hyphen size as 3em, exclamation mark, important, then save it. Let's see in the browser. Refresh the page. Okay, we need to take care of the links in the footer, and we also need to fix the color of the active link in the navigation bar. Okay, I think I missed out footer link, that is footer space A. I have styled the footer A colon hover, but I have missed out footer space A. Let me just quickly write this and give it a color of FFF. Save it and open the browser, and the links are now in white color, and we hover over them, it turns a little off-white, just like the original page. Now let's write A colon hover, and then text decoration as none, because we do not want that underline sign when we hover over the next or the previous button. Yeah, you can see the underline has gone. The demo class looks great. Okay, I think I have added a space after the li by mistake. Let me just clear this one. Now save the page. And refresh, and now you can see the active link. The active link in the navigation is now just like the original page. So okay, we fixed this. Now let's take care of other things. Okay, now let's add the animation to the gallery text. Drop down to the part where we have declared Jumbotron, and in the h1 tag let's add a class wow space fade in left. These are the pre-built or the predefined classes. If you want to add animation, we just need to write this, and in the text below we can use fade in right because we want that text to come from the right side and the gallery to come from the left side. Refresh the page and now animation is working. Now let's add a little bit of delay so that the animation does not start soon as we click on the refresh. Let's add data hyphen wow hyphen delay 0.6 seconds, and then copy this and paste it below. Save it, and now let's see in the website. Yeah, there is a bit of delay now, just like the original one. We are now almost done. Now let me just style the button and white and make the background of the button as blue colored. Let me quickly scroll to the part where we have styled the button. Let me just see. Okay, I think I written this background color in the .navbar hyphen default .navbar hyphen toggle. That should have been border hyphen color. I just make it border hyphen color. Save it, open the browser, refresh, and now the color of the button is blue. It works fine. Now we have to make sure that this white padding above the image is not there, because in the original website it is not there, and we have that close button as well in the original page, but in our page the close button is not visible and we have that white padding. Let me just take care of that first. Scroll up. Okay, in the body tag I have written font hyphen size. It should have been just font. I have written that by mistake. Make it just font, remove hyphen size. Spelling of Lato is also wrong, make it LATO, and everything else is looking great. And under this dot model hyphen content I have written the width as 100%, and that is why the image is taking the 100% of the screen. Make it 90%, and now we have the room for that close button. Okay, let's now just resize the screen and see if you need to make any more changes. I think we should remove this navigation bar beyond 768 pixels. I think we should remove this navigation bar I think we should remove this navigation bar up to 992 pixels, and beyond that I think it's fine to have the navigation bar on top always. So let's get back to the code and write one more media query. Now start with the comment, media queries for responsiveness of website. Then drop down and create a new line, add media space screen space and bracket max width 992 pixels, open curly braces, then dot navbar hyphen fixed hyphen top and open curly braces, then position, make it relative because we do not want the navigation bar to be on top always, up to 992 pixels. Screen size is really very small, up to 992 pixels. Open the browser, refresh the page. Yeah, now the navigation bar is not on top. Yeah, it's better now because below 992 pixels it is a small screen and we do not want the navigation bar to be there. There's still one more thing I think that we should edit in the media queries. We have defined the demo class as displayed to be none because we have hidden the demo class in small screens. We do not want those demos images below the slideshow in small screen because in small screen I don't think it will look nice. So we have made the demo class to be displayed as none. You can see the max width 768 pixels and the demo class is displayed to be none. Then under this small images below slides for quick jumps we have given this class of call -access-6. So this makes no sense. This is really irrelevant now because we have already made the demo class to be displayed as none. So this call access -6 is irrelevant. We can remove this from here. If you do not want to remove it, it is still fine. Website is working fine, everything is fine. But if you want everything to be just perfect, then remove this. And let's save the website, save the code and see in the browser. Let's make the screen small and open a image. Yeah, you can see that there's no demo images below the slide in small screens. Yeah, everything is good now, everything is fine. The website is ready. Thank you for watching.